not mature for my age, you were immature at my age. Signed, a girl that's sick and tired of feeling ashamed of her age because it carries as many stereotypes as her skin tone. Salutations, friends. My name is Brianna Bond, otherwise known as No Ordinary Scholar, and I worked at this retail store that did this whole thing to celebrate Mickey Mouse and the 90th anniversary. Now, I was chatting up this customer at the register when we came to this topic, and I said, it's weird to think that it's been a full 90 years since the first appearance of Mickey Mouse. In my head, I'm thinking about how Disney was well established and enlisted for propaganda cartoons in World War II, and how Disneyland was up and running all throughout the Red Scare. The woman I was talking to said it was just because I was young. And you know what? I was offended. I was thinking in historical terms. Besides, it's not like she was around for the first cartoon. Then I realized something. When I was young, I was taught never to be ashamed of my race. I was taught never to be ashamed of my gender. But during all those life lessons, we never touched down on age. Why? Because the teachers are generally the ones calling us young and dumb. And because that's all we hear, we end up calling each other young and dumb. It'd be one thing if it was just ignorant people saying things like, I won't argue with people born after 1996. They can't even write in cursive. I mean, that's just logic. Similar to the reason the Black Plague dipped out. It didn't want to waste its time on non-vegans. But we have headlines like, Millennials kill again. The latest victim? American cheese. Weddings, cheese, radio. What will millennials kill next? Millennials are killing canned tuna, but the industry is fighting back. I'm sorry, Amelia. I didn't realize that 10 stations and endless static meant so much to you. And then there's this Monopoly game. Okay, now you're just not taking a joke. Here's the thing, though. If the headline read, Negroes, mass murderers, and the first thing in the article that was murdered was fabric softener, there would be outrage. The same way there was outrage when Ghettopoly hit stores, giving you the chance to be a pimp or a hoe, racing to build the most crack houses and projects. That outrage comes because you're stereotyping a group of people and using strong verbiage to perpetuate those stereotypes and prejudices against them. Prejudice being defined as a partiality that prevents objective consideration of an issue or situation. And at this point, the Monopoly game is propaganda, information especially of a biased or misleading nature used to promote or publicize a popular political cause or point of view. So basically, your joke of a game is essentially the age equivalent of a cartoon in blackface. You're not seriously comparing this to the struggle of your people. 1, these are my people too, because to the average person, a millennial is anyone that doesn't have a pension plan. I'm not saying these things are the same. I'm just comparing the language used towards millennials to that of a bigot and asking why we don't raise our eyebrows more at this. I'm also not going to hesitate to remind people that there were young people protesting, marching the streets, begging for new legislation so they don't have to worry about getting shot during their trig test. But they're millennials, so they're being so entitled and lazy, just asking the government to solve this problem. This is a weaponization of the stereotype to tip the political scales. Is weaponized really appropriate here? What? I'm overdramatic if I use the word weaponized when people are actually dying. But saying I'm a murderer is spot on if I think American cheese tastes like plastic. Well, you have to admit, some millennials are like that. True, but at the same time, some Asians eat dog, some white boys are hopped up on steroids, and some cops unjustly shoot unarmed black men. But that doesn't mean they all do. Are you trying to say you don't fit any part of that description? I really don't think you're getting it. So let me define stereotype for you and explain what it means to perpetuate one. Please stop defining things. I feel like I'm in school. No, you don't. Now, essentially have your government tell you that this is a you problem, and you'll be halfway there. Still need textbooks, though. Fine. Just how do we fix it? That's hard. Because like other social progress, a movement takes time. But this is different still. You see, with racial issues, you are your race from the day you were born to the day you die. So your trials will last that long, and you hope for a better life for your posterity. But with age, there is a stopping point that permits for you to experience the better, so it becomes more of an I've paid my dues situation, similar to hazing a freshman. But you know what schools did when they decided they cared about the number of kids dying from that shit? They stood up against bullying and hazing, and we should do the same now that it's your kids, your grandkids, and the people that are gonna look after you when you're old. So what does this mean? Simple. It means recognizing that not all young people are lazy and entitled, not all young people are stupid and naive, and not all young people are millennials. And I would like to end by saying that I am no longer ashamed of my age. I am 19 and proud. And if you have a problem with my age group or my generation, then you genuinely possess a level of ignorance that is only worth my time when I get to write how history remembers you. Thank you so much. If you want to keep hearing from me, please hit the subscribe button, as well as check out my Instagram, Facebook, and ordinaryscholar.com links, all of which are in the description below. And if you really like what's going on here, please consider checking out my Patreon account. But until next time, valedictions, friends.